How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Blake Check. Thanks for tuning in for this short video. Today I want to bring you guys up to speed on our current status of our ID.4 order or reservation. So recently I posted an update video, so this is an update to that update video. I didn't intend on making a video on the ID.4 again, assuming that we wouldn't hear anything from Volkswagen for, a few more months. The last thing that we heard was that there was no sort of like estimation for when our ID.4 was going to be ready. Just as a quick refresh, back in December, my wife and I reserved an ID.4 from Volkswagen. That was supposed to be her first EV, but then they told us that it would probably be a few months before that car showed up. So instead of having my wife continue to drive that gas car, we decided to buy you a Tesla instead. Fast forward to more recently, we hadn't heard any updates from Volkswagen, and so we were starting to think that maybe that Tesla would have a permanent spot in our garage. So we posed that question to you guys. Now knowing that Volkswagen didn't really have a good estimation for when our car would show up, we asked you guys if we should cancel our reservation and keep the Tesla or just continue to wait. After all of that, I did a little bit of thinking, used big brain. So the letter that we got from Volkswagen a few weeks ago said that our ID.4 order was held back because of just, I guess, part of the manufacturing process, parts availability and stuff like that. So I was thinking, okay, so if we currently have an all-wheel drive ID.4 on reservation, what if I changed our vehicle configuration to have less parts, less problem, right? So that's all I did. I just went into our ID.4 configuration and I changed it from the all-wheel drive variant of the ID.4 to the rear-wheel drive variant. So I was thinking one less motor, that's probably a huge expensive component that is holding up manufacturing. And so maybe that'll make things a little bit easier and push up our spot in line. So to be honest, I thought that was a good idea, but most of my thought process was that this wasn't going to do anything. It was just kind of to test a theory. But lo and behold, 2 days later, we got another email from Volkswagen, and they said it was time for us to go ahead and continue on to step 2 of the ordering process, which would be to put down the rest of our deposit. So I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking. Let me hear your thoughts on this. What do you, first of all, feel okay with moving from the all-wheel drive variant back to the rear-wheel drive variant? Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't think I'll notice much of a difference, really.
Yeah. To be honest, I think we ordered the all-wheel drive variant because it's more fun to drive. You get an extra like 90 horsepower. But since this is going to be your daily driver, I feel like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal if we kind of skimp out, so to speak, and just go with the rear-wheel drive car. And actually, the rear-wheel drive ID.4 has a little bit more range compared to the all-wheel drive variant because it's the same battery pack, but then you have more weight and it's slightly less efficient. In my mind, the rear-wheel drive variant is actually the better value, while the all-wheel drive variant is the better all-around vehicle, I think. If you only have one car, especially if it's only one electric car, I would recommend going all the way to the all-wheel drive and maybe even going to the top trim and adding all the bells and whistles and stuff. But because this car is just going to be a second electric vehicle to our 2018 Tesla Model 3 Performance, I feel like we kind of have the bells and whistles, so this is going to just be like an extra car that doesn't necessarily need to have all that stuff. So that said, if you are still waiting for your ID.4, you haven't heard anything from Volkswagen, this would be the part where I sort of say, this could work for you too. If you don't necessarily need the all-wheel drive variant, you could potentially move up your delivery date or at least move to the next spot in line to the rest of the deposit by just simply changing your configuration to the rear-wheel drive. So that's for you guys to think about. For us, we went ahead and did that, and we are joining you guys today so that we can put that deposit down. I want you guys to see what that process looks on our end. So let's go ahead and take a look around. As you guys can see here, I'm circling around the first step in the process. This is where we've been living for like the past 5 months, just this reservation confirmed. At this stage in the process, Volkswagen just asks you for a fully refundable $100 to hold your reservation, but this does not confirm the purchase price at the end. So this kind of is just like you saying that yes, you would like an ID.4, and you leave the rest to Volkswagen. So the next step in the process is more important. This is where we're at now. This is the second email that we received from Volkswagen. Asked us or told us that we could put the rest of our deposit down. So as you can see here, the rest of our fully refundable down payment is an extra $400, making a total of $500 of a down payment on the vehicle. So this is the step that actually secures our production slot, and I think it also holds all of our configuration changes, so we can't make any more edits to our configuration moving forward after we place the rest of our deposit down, and it confirms the purchase price. So Volkswagen already changed the purchase price on us since we placed our reservation back in December. Initially, the purchase price was supposed to be, I think, $39,990, and today I think we're looking at, let's see, $41,230. So the purchase price went up by about $1,000. But with that, I think the latest I've heard from Volkswagen is that the estimated range has gone up by about 10 miles as well. There's been a few other improvements on this vehicle, so it's not like we're just paying for the same thing. We're actually getting our money's worth in that extra $1,000, I think. So that's another reason that we are continuing on with this process instead of canceling our ID.4. It still seems like a good value, especially considering that we will get our $7,500 tax credit when we file taxes next year for purchasing this new EV. So I think I've talked enough. Let's go ahead and place the rest of our deposit down. Yeah, so we just finished entering all of our payment info. Actually, Volkswagen still had all of our payment info saved from when we put our initial $100 reservation down. That made it super convenient for us. All right, so as you can see here, all we have to do is click submit payment. They will take the $400 from us, and we will lock in our spot in the production line.
So exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, so cool. So yeah, order locked. As you can see, just doing that moved us up to the next step in the production sequence. Next, I guess, is leaving the factory. The next time you'll hear from us is going to be when we get the news that our Volkswagen is leaving the factory or arriving in the US. And so, yeah, we look forward to that. We're both pretty excited about this car. We talked about it a lot. We brought you guys into the conversation to try to figure out what to do. And ultimately, I think we are going to go ahead and move forward with taking delivery of that ID.4 when the time comes. We have 2 Teslas right now. We're very happy with them. But the Volkswagen, frankly, is still cheaper than even the Model 3 that Jess has right now. And it's an SUV, and we kind of just like a little bit of variety in the garage. So leave your comments below. What do you guys think about the decision that we made today to go forward with the ID.4? If you have an ID.4 on order, are you going to consider changing your configuration to try to move up your spot in production? Let me know in the comments section below. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you liked what you saw, leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. But this has been Blake Check, and that's a wrap.